Welcome to the A-26B weapons tutorial. So turn on HMCS, it's looking good. Put our mirror down. So this already started in flight. So first difference you'll see here between flying here and flying and at a previous example with no targets, RWR is lighting up. So all these different letters are a code for a type of radar signature. I don't actually know where these are. Okay, so DS is probably referring to drone SAM. So these are surface-to-air missile radar sites. Now, these aren't going to shoot me right now, but you want to watch those because they're going to shoot you down. They're not fun. Now, back here, it's going to pop up E4. So that's the E4 AWACS aircraft. So that's the friendly radar aircraft telling us where all the local contacts are. He's up there. So those little that diamond, those are radar contacts being displayed in their direction from the aircraft. And this isn't actually showing distance. The RWR has no way of knowing how far away it is. This is only strength and potential risk to the aircraft. Now, that it does its own magic and determines how that is, but generally the closer it is, the higher strength the radar signal. And oh, you'll see that one popped up, so we have a new contact. That's what that bling was there. So, grab the stick here. I'm going to do a little loop around. We're going to start with some air-to-air targets. Ooh, there they are. That F. F is a fighter aircraft, which means there are fighters near. There they are. So those might be our... There they are. Those are a group of fighters. We'll switch to the radar. Turn radar power on, and look at that. We have a flight of aircraft. So here, set SOI. Put the nav up here just so we can take a look. Nav will have the locations of, will have known enemy locations, set SOI. So you of course, use the stick to navigate this. It'll snap to targets. You click the stick, to press it down, and that marks a target. I'm going to reduce airspeed here, and then click it again, that line. We now have locked a target. Now you can't see it here, but this radar is not a phased array radar. This can only track one aircraft at a time when locking. Now if you unlock the aircraft, it goes back into search mode. You'll notice it has more targets, but if you lock up an aircraft, it will only track one aircraft. Now this is new, I think that might be a bore site. So it gives you a lot of information when you have an aircraft locked up. Reduce throttle again here just so you don't pass them. ASF30 is the aircraft model. Bearing, B is bearing. So that shows us currently would be at heading, was that 2277 there? So that's general direction. Range of 2 miles. Altitude of 5,300 feet. And M for Mach of Mach 0.64, which is actually quite a bit above what we're doing now. So that's a locked aircraft target. We're going to go to the master arm enable, and you'll see now, this is a bit different than before, that gun's indicator is moving around. So that gun is an indicator is going to tell you where the bullets are going relative to the target. You want to put that right on the target. And that's a bit tricky sometimes, but it's a lot better than just a little static crosshair like they used to have. Okay, so we are gonna, I brought a lot more weapons than just the guns. We're gonna get to those later. We'll go full beans here. Currently range of 3 miles. Now I have a external fuel tank on here, so this plane is quite chunky right now. We're gonna do a gun run first. We're gonna get real close to these guys. These, I forgot to mention in the previous tutorial, so 5 and 2.5 here are range numbers. Now, I really don't know what that circle is. Is that a bore site? I hope not. So it doesn't... Oh my gosh, it totally is a bore site. So, okay, so this you can see, that little dot is the location of the contact. That circle is the entire range of the radar, and it is telling you where the aircraft is, and so you can see whether it's below or above you, and then right now I'm pointing almost straight at it. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, we're gonna close pretty close here. and go for a gun run. Unfortunately, going 0.63 Mach. I'm going almost 1 Mach. We're screaming in. I'll pull the brakes, attempt to slow down here. Now, these guys aren't going to shoot back, but of course a real target would shoot back. Now, you can see the aircraft there. We're going to line the center of that circle with a little dot, and I think I missed. Oh! I hit him. One of the aircraft pulled out. We're going to go again. We're going to do a BERT. Boom! Alright, guns kill. Splash 1. Now, splash, meaning you killed an aircraft. You can see the fire there. They're descending. I don't know, maybe they're avoiding me. I don't know. I'm friendly, guys. I won't shoot you down, I swear. Let's watch that. Boom. Alright, and that little noise means it lost track because, of course, the plane hit the ground. That's wonderful. Alright, so guns, pretty simple. Actually, there's another flight of aircraft there. We're going to watch them. Okay, so remember, press the B button, or the while gripping the stick, the right controller, the top clicky button. So I've now switched to aim 9s. Hear that tone? That's good. We like hearing that tone. These are infrared guided missiles. These are very handy. They're close range missiles. They're very maneuverable, and of course they're heat seeking. Fun fact about... Did I just lose him? Where'd they go? Give me a track, please. There he is. So there's a version of this missile, which is a newer version called the AIRS-T, and that can actually lock onto missiles and shoot down incoming missiles. Now that's some cool stuff. So this is a infrared guided missile, and the the infrared receiver, basically a little infrared camera, is playing a sound when it sees a target within that target circle. You want your target to be in the circle. It'll give you a tone. You remember here in Maverick saying "gimme tone"? Well, that's the tone you want. It'll stay shoot. You'll see the shoot lights. You hear the growl.
Alpha 1-1 Overlord Group Bra 1
so
4 4
that's the radio.
5000 cold leans on Overlord.
Are they shooting at him? So that's the AWACS aircraft talking to you. We can break down how to listen to him later. So we'll go close range. Tone's getting louder. Come on. Oh, I think we're a bit too close, actually. I gotta back up a little bit. This would be perfect for a guns kill. They're perfectly in range. You can see our speed brake is deployed there. We'll back off a little bit. Apologies, taking too long. Alright. And Fox 2. Missile goes. Sees track. Boom! That would be Splash 1 bomber right there. Look at him go. So these are great, good for short range. And when you launch one of these, you want to call out Fox 2 for any infrared guided missile. Switch weapons again. Not that, not... Whoop. We want... This is the radar air-to-air missile, the AIM-120. This thing is a absolutely fantastic missile. These are more medium range type of missile. These are radar guided, so you have to look at your radar and lock up a target. We're going to back off a little bit. So these generally can be fired from a range of 8 to 16 miles, depending on the aspect, but they will travel for a long time. AIM-120s will talk to your aircraft and get continuous updates of the aircraft's position, and then the missile will adjust its guidance accordingly. So we are currently in range of 3. We're going to get we'll get to 4 miles here. 4 miles. All right. Now we have a good shoot light. That little dot is kind of showing where it kind of wants us to point the missile. You don't have to, but it helps the missile out a little bit. I'm going a little slow. So we have a good radar lock. And this is a Fox 3. So, Fox 3. And there we go. Missile goes away. Now, at longer range, it would be guided by the aircraft radar. But because we're at close range, that missile has its own onboard radar, which has now locked up that target. And you heard the aircraft call out Pitbull. So when the missile goes Pitbull, it's guiding by its own internal radar. It missed. looks like he deployed flare, or he deployed chaff. So he just lost him. This guy's really, oh wait. Now we killed him. Just kidding, that's the second aircraft. There he is. So, splash one. Look at that. He's dead. So at longer ranges, these will just go. And you can set them so that if you can launch them even without locking a target, and they're pretty crazy. So we're now at a range of 4. Yeah, I could shoot him down, but I'm not going to. Okay. Yeah, let's move to the more basic weapons. So this is called the AIM-9E. It's like the AIM-9, but it's from the 1970s. And so that little circle there, that is the infrared receiver. You can see it's a lot smaller than the current AIM-9. It's definitely not as advanced, and it's moving around to just cover a bigger area. So we're going to close range here. Alright, so it's locking. What you do, you pull it for this one, you pull the trigger to tell it to lock on to something it sees. So I'm holding the trigger to keep it locked, and then you fire by pressing the weapon switch button. So I fire the weapon switch button. Fox 2. And there goes the missile. It's probably going to dump flares here. He's turning. These guys take some pretty... It just goes stupid. Missile went stupid. It missed him. Alright, we're going to try and get him locked up. He's dumping flares. We have him locked up. Alright, Fox 2. And... I get him? He's still alive. Alright, so... yeah, he's a pain in the butt. Now, of course, you always want to use the AIM-9 if you can. So I'm going to show you a more advanced way to use the AIM-9 now. This involves the head-mounted queuing system, the HMCS. There's another aircraft. What? Are they on the ground? Okay. So, this is a bit more complicated, so we're going to go home. We're going to go to the equip option. Now this shows you all the current weapons mounted to the aircraft. We're going to go to our AIM-9s. Now, we're going to set the mode to uncaged. Oops. Excuse me, head track. So, we'll now see that little circle follows where I look. And you can see it'll lock it. It has a pretty insanely wide field of view. And then we want trigger mode, trigger uncaged to be on. So, go back to our nav screen here. So now, the infrared receiver of the AIM-9 is going to follow where my head points it. So I can just look at a target, pull the trigger, and he'll shoot. Now, this functions shooting it exactly the same. Are you on the ground? Mach 0.64, you're in the air. Alright, so this functions similarly to the AIM-9E to designate a target, because of course there's all sorts of things we can look at. So, I'll start hearing a tone here pretty soon. So I'm manually pointing it, right? I can still move my head. Now watch this. I pull the trigger.
Overlord.
Thanks, Overlord.
Bullseye. 037.
Right.
20. Weeds.
So I am currently holding the trigger to keep him locked up. And it will lock the target until you unpull it. Now I hold the trigger and whoop, it locks him up. Now you press the weapon switch button, and there it goes. And he's taking evasive maneuvers. I dumped flares, missile went stupid. So we're going to lock him up again. There it goes. And splash. See you later, buddy. Alright, so that's a pretty basic air-to-air weapons tutorial. So we covered guns, Fox 2 missiles, and Fox 3 missiles. Of course, remember that Fox 2 is infrared guided, and Fox 3 is the AIM-120 active radar guided missiles. Now there is another one, I'm not going to talk about it because they kind of suck, called the AIM-7, which is a Fox 1. Now this functions like the AIM-120, except it can't lock on its own. You got to keep your target locked the entire time, or the missile just stops functioning. This is most definitely worse, but this is what they had when they were flying Tomcats, so this is what Maverick used. I'll do a Fox 1 there just to be cool. You can see that missile going. Now, if I lose track, that missile is going to go off in the middle of nowhere, which kind of sucks. All right, so he's closing very rapidly. He's at 22,000 feet. And splash. Look at that. Get a aim that knee on him. Is he dead? He's dead. Come on. Give me. Oh! So these are the stealth fighters, I think. Right. Ooh, I lost all my energy. Okay. Here, this is a better position here. These guys aren't really fighting back, of course. Boom. There's a Fox 2. Switch back to our, am I out of M9s? I'm out of M9s. Well, it missed. Too bad. Alright. So that is the weapons tutorial. Don't think there's anything else. I brought some ground weapons, but we'll work with those later. Alright. Audio.